Good morning, as always, ladies and gents. Today is Thursday, November 12th, 2020. Okay, we have a surprise coming for you today, and that Mr. Rodriguez is teaching us the whole day. Okay, so for those of you online who missed, are going to miss his awesomeness, we have a quick little video with boring old me. Okay, so today we're going to learn about Y-intercepts of graphs. Our I-can statement is I can find the Y-intercept of a graph. Now, a definition of a y-intercept: it's the y-coordinate of a point where a line, curve, or surface intersects the y-axis. All right. So you see right here, this little graph right here, the purple dot. You see how it crosses the y-axis? That's the y-intercept. Okay. Fancy definition, fancy like usual in a math class, but the actual concept is easy. Where it crosses this y-axis, in this case, red y-axis. Where it crosses, that's our y-intercept, and that's what we're focused on. Okay, we've been talking about the Y-intercept for a while now, and for today, we're going to learn how to actually find it from graphs. All right, so now we'll be able to finish our equation. We have y equals mx plus b, and we've been so focused on the slope, or the m, that we haven't paid attention to the b. All right, so here we are, we're going to learn the b, and then there's some pointers right there that you can read. I won't read them verbatimly to you, but they're there for your viewing pleasure and reading pleasure. All right. And as we talked about before, this is just part of the bigger picture. It's all slope. We have slope equations up here. We have slope tables. We have slope situations, slope graphs. Okay. It's all part of this bigger picture. But you'll notice in the center, in a different color, we have a graph, because our emphasis today is graphs. And we're going to be focused on finding the y-intercept, aka the b in the situation. All right. Over here, that's just slopes. This doesn't apply just to that. This is just slope equations. Okay, but we want to focus on finding that b in the slope equation. So example 1, what is the y-intercept of this graph? What is the y-intercept of this graph? Well, ladies and gents, if you stare at the graph first, you're going to panic. Ladies and gents, if you try to look at this whole slide, you're going to panic. If you try to have an answer for everything, you're going to panic. The only thing you need to be worried about is that question. What is the y-intercept of this graph? Oh my goodness. The next step is not panic. I've read it, sir. Now I panic, right? No. Okay, we're going to go back to our equation, our definition. And remember, it's simply when it crosses the y-axis. So now I'm going to go back to our example. When does this red line cross the y-axis? If you guess right here, you were correct. It literally crosses right there. Now, what value is that? If you're not certain or you can't see, this is a great opportunity to use our zoom in button. Okay. And just to be crystal clear, I'm going to put this giant arrow there, and I'm going to make it obnoxious like Mr. Heiston. Make it yellow, and I'm going to make the background or the outline of it black. All right. That point right there. So for those of you who are like, I don't get it, I don't see it. Oh, life's so hard. Let me zoom in, super zoom in too. I don't want any excuses. Oh, look at that. So our arrow is pointing right at the 4. So the red line crosses the y-axis at 4. Congratulations, you just found the y-intercept. So I'm going to zoom back out. And now that my slide is reasonable again, I'm going to go over here and say, which one matches 4? Is it A, B, C, or D? Well, A says B equals 4.2. Remember that lowercase b is y-intercept. Okay. Option B says lowercase b equals -2. Option C says lowercase b equals 4. And option D says lowercase b equals 5. Huh. I feel like I'm ready to answer. So I think I'm going to go ahead and select option C. Type the answer here. Oh, yeah, I'm done. Well, wait, there's something more. There's a green dot here, and it says, is this graph positive or negative? Well, this green dot, I wonder why it's in the way. Oh, maybe I need to put it. Oh, maybe. Oh, what? I actually had to put. Oh, so the green dot goes on the y-intercept? What? So now you have really no excuse why you don't know where it's at. And is this graph positive or negative? Well, if I read from left to right, it is going up. Okay, if you follow my mouse, it's going up as we read left to right. So it is positive. So right here, I'm going to scroll over to the side and type in positive. All right. And if it does that, ladies and gents, feel free to just delete that or move it around wherever you need to. But ladies and gents, that is what we're doing today, okay? That takes us through slide 6. You're responsible for slides 7 through 13. Very similar structure on all of them. You need to find the y-intercept. And of course, instead of putting a giant yellow arrow, use our green dot. I just did that for the sake of this video. Okay, verse slide 8, slide 9, slide 10, they're all similar. Then we get to 11 or 12, or 11, 12, and 13, you're going to see two graphs, but the task is the same. What is our y-intercept, also known as our lowercase b, and we need to place our green dot on our graph. Notice that some of these graphs are negative and some of these graphs are positive. Notice that I also did not say that changed the game. Everything remains the same. It's where did it cross the y-axis? It can cross in the middle. It can cross above the middle. So I should say it can cross at the origin 0. It can cross above 0. It can cross below 0. It can cross anywhere. Where does it cross? It might even cross in between. Do not complicate it, ladies and gents. The instructions remain the same. Where does it cross? If it crosses at 10.5, then the answer is 10 and 10.5, 10.5. Okay. If you have questions, be sure to attend class. Remember, you have definitions provided, 3 teachers, explanation galore. Have a great day. And that is how you find the y-intercept of a graph. See you in class, hopefully.